Supreme Court judges as a clear reset, not just in rhetoric, but through real action and institutional change.
We're building a new Ghana, one where our institutions work, leadership listens, and merit is rewarded, and justice is blind not to truth, but blind to bias.
Business.
Government to spend $1.4 billion next year in service and debts owed Eurobond holders. Details on the Joy Business Report.
And later we'll tell you about the winners of the Western Regional Championship title of the 2025 National Science and Math Quiz.
Yes, GSTS.
Electrical conductor.
That is correct.
I am Amiesi Nyamiche Thompson. Details now. The Minister for Communications, Samuel Nate George, has revealed the arrest of over 400 individuals linked to various cyber crimes, including fraud, forgery, and romance crime. The suspects have been arrested at two separate locations in Tema and Sogah in special operations by the Cyber Security Agency. There's more on the following report.
Cyber fraud and romance scam have become a growing trend which government is finding ways to deal with in a move to curb the menace. Communications Minister Samuel Nate George at a press conference on Thursday provided some updates on the matter as he revealed over 400 individuals have also been arrested in Ghana over similar cases.
In one instance, the CSA and the Ghana Immigration Service busted a pig butchering fraud hosting center at the Nyamidua Estate in Tema Community 26. Over 400 persons were arrested from 8 different nationalities. We seized 4,000 mobile phones, 70 laptops, and 5 firearms. The CSA in another operation with the Ghana Police Service in Sogah, leading to the arrest of 11 suspects, including the gang leader of the group.
The minister also announced the number of measures to has clamped down on nudity on social media, especially on TikTok.
I'm deeply concerned about some of the content on TikTok. Live sex and explicit material on TikTok is completely unacceptable and against our culture and our norms. And those were parts of the conversation I held with TikTok's team to have content moderation in country.
He also had some good news for subscribers of DSTV.
I make you one promise. I won't leave tomorrow's meeting without securing a drop in the price of DSTV. That is a solemn promise I make to you.
James Savage's report for Joy News.
Now, the swearing-in of the 7 new justices to the Supreme Court was more than a ceremonial event. President John Mahama described it as a signpost that the reset of Ghana's democracy has begun not just in words, but in action and within institutions. At a ceremony held at the presidency, the president warned against political interference and intimidation, stressing that a strong judiciary is not a threat to government. We'll hear from the president shortly, but first, one of the newly sworn-in justices, Justice Senyo Jamafe, talked about the long journey to the Supreme Court.
To the people of Ghana, we promise that we will dispense justice to all manner of people without fear or favor, ill will or affection. We also promise you equal justice and the law. The journey for some of us up to today has been exceptionally long, but you never gave up on us. You kept encouraging us, praying for us, and supporting us. You have the faith and confidence that this day will arrive. Finally, it has arrived.
We can now hear from President Mahama as he speaks about the beginning of the reset of Ghana's institutions.
I await the report of the H. Kwesi Prempeh Constitutional Review Committee in August this year, and I'm hopeful that their report will contain recommendations that will make our judiciary more effective and just. Ladies and gentlemen, history teaches us that where the judiciary is strong, society is stable. Where the judiciary is impartial, citizens feel secure. And where the judiciary is respected, democracy flourishes. We must protect our courts from political interference, economic manipulation, and public intimidation. An independent judiciary is not a threat to government. It is a partner in nation building. We need justices who are not swayed by popularity or pressure, but are anchored in the Constitution and driven by a genuine desire to uphold justice without fear or favor.
President John Dramani Mahama there. Well, when a 24-year-old Kwame was arrested in 2023, he thought he'd get a fair hearing within weeks. But without a lawyer and no money, he spent 2 years behind bars awaiting trial. Kwame's story is one of many stuck in the prison system without any legal help. Meanwhile, legal aid is also understaffed and overwhelmed with cases.
I'm a lawyer. I pay me lawyer for my first time, but it's not attending to me since 2021. As for this year, I came here July 2024, where I came this year, but I was in police station since December 2021.
But yesterday, the Greater Accra chapter of the Ghana Bar Association offered a lifeline, giving counsel to inmates as well as ordinary Ghanaians in various parts of the country who cannot afford private lawyers. Rita Kunkunti Ali is a member of the association and with the Ghana Legal Aid.
I am at the Legal Aid Commission, but I tell you what, we are understaffed at the Commission. We are overwhelmed with cases, and so even though the commission has been set up by the state to deal with this kind of people who do not have money on their own to engage private lawyers, we are not many. The lawyers at the commission are not many to deal with all these cases. Majority of the inmates here are on remand, which means that their cases have not yet been tried. And for some of them, the reason why their cases have not been tried is because they do not have lawyers. Because if you have a lawyer, your lawyer is going to push and get your case heard in good time. But for some of them, because they don't have lawyers, they are almost like forgotten. They are here, they can be here for years, and their case will not be heard. So this is very, very, very important. It's very necessary. It's all about justice.
Meanwhile, the Eastern Regional Director of Prisons is also making a fresh appeal to government for an urgent review of the daily feeding allowance for inmates currently at a woeful 1 cedi 80 pesos.
Sure, it is a challenge feeding because they are being fed on 1 cedi 80 pesos a day. And then this has persisted over a decade ago. And then we know what is obtained currently in the market. So the feeding rates of 1 cedi 80 pesos to provide 3 square meals, not only that, but nutritious meals for the inmates is definitely a challenge.